Well, I cleaned the sink again. Oh, speaking of sink, I'm doing a movie on the Titanic. Oh, this is Chip Cod Roach, and I am doing A Night to Remember. This is the 1958 British film. This is not, no, it is not James Cameron's 1997 movie. I'm doing this one first. I'm hoping that just because this movie is in 1958 and it's in black and white, it gets a little bit of love. Don't do the yip, 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 yip. I'm explaining.
I did nothing.
I'm explaining things here. This actually is a documentary style, which this supposedly is the most accurate Titanic movie. Sorry, James Cameron, yours is not.
Well, they have some accuracies in it compared to this one. Like the ship breaking in half.
Well, yeah, but that's not the... Let's be fair here. This movie came out in 1958. They didn't actually see the ship again until 1985 when they went under the water and they saw that the ship did break in, that it split in two. They were able to see that because of the steel and the fact that the ship was in two pieces as well. So, well, what they were explaining in that, see, I watched the show, what really happened, and they explained that they can just tell by the way the steel was. That
the fact that it was in two parts?
No, but when the ship was straight up, all that weight would cause it to split in two.
Well, obviously, that was common sense.
Well, apparently not to the person writing this book, which was done by, I believe his name was Walter Lord, and he helped writing this movie. And also in this movie, let's be fair, they did have survivors still alive at this time, because as you know, the ship sank in 1912.
Did we all know that?
I hope so.
No, I did not know when it sunk.
Oh dear.
I knew about it. I never paid attention to the year.
Well, it's went down in 1912.
Wait, so they didn't see for 60 years later?
Yeah.
70 years later.
It's funny. I'm actually glad you brought that up. Because it's actually, this ship still, to this day, is still taking lives. Because people have actually died trying to see the Titanic because it's so far down.
70 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long time. They had to get the right... Well, first of all, they had to know where it was. They got that wrong several times. And also, to get a vessel down there that deep is a little bit tricky, too. There has been accidents of ships imploding because of the pressure.
I'll just take a Navy submarine. It'll go down fine.
Is it something I want to do? I'm not going to lie. I do.
No, the hell you don't.
Just the heck I do.
No, the hell you do not.
And yes, for some reason, I'm fascinated by this stupid boat. All it is a cruise liner. I realize that. It's a ship. I apologize. And for some reason, I'm fascinated by this stupid ship.
Why is it stupid?
Better question, why am I fascinated with it? I don't know. I don't have an answer.
It's history. You like history.
Yeah, I know, but it's a really depressing story. It's tragic.
Most history lesson things are.
I guess so, but this one really could have been avoided. I think it's because it's so much of a mystery, too. I mean, it's like you said with the boat splitting in two. Why didn't people see it when they were on the lifeboats? My only answer to that is maybe it was too dark.
No.
And people didn't really realize what they were seeing.
No, could you have seen the light?
The lights were off, though.
Not all of them.
Which ones were still on?
The ones on the deck.
Those are gone.
Not in the movie, they weren't.
Oh. Okay, so, and again, this is a tragic story. Over 700 people lived. But I think over 1,000 died. I think the number's about 1,300 to 1,500 actually lost their lives on this thing. That's not good. And
You would be one of them.
I probably would be.
I would not share the door with you.
I first of all, it was women and children first. So yeah, I'm pretty much a dead man. I might as well just jump off.
Yeah, but I wouldn't share the door with you either.
Nobody would.
Nope.
So
You're not likable.
I guess not. So this movie came out in 1958, and like I said, it was directed by Roy Ward Baker, and he did Asylum, and some Monster Club movie. I think he did a lot of British films.
Never heard of him.
One notable name is, I think it's David McCall. He was Ducky on.
He died. I was sad.
Yeah, he was one of the violinists. Believe it or not, I just found this out.
I like Ducky.
I think his name's David McCallum.
It is. You're welcome.
And I didn't even. And I was just looking through the names, and the last name sounded familiar, but there's a lot of McCallums. But then when I actually pressed on it, I was like, "Oh my god, that."
No, I said that was Ducky. Thank you very
Well, I
much.
didn't know his name, but I knew he was from one of the crime shows.
NCIS.
NCIS.
He died. I was sad.
So
And then they had to kill him on that too.
Yeah, well, then they killed him on the Titanic as well because he was one of the violins.
Yeah, but he was alive then.
He was alive when he passed away in the movie. So.
Oh, he passed away in NCIS after he died in real life. So therefore, I win.
Yes.
Sad times.
Okay, so going back to this movie, so the captain is played by, I have to look up his name again, Anthony Scholl, I think. We also have Honor Blackman, who was in Goldfinger. We have...
Who's she?
She was the one that got painted gold.
Oh, she died.
Yeah, she did. But I believe that she actually survived in this movie, though. So some other things that happened in this, what this movie is, it's like I said, it's a documentary style. So it really showed the captain, the Californian ship, warning them about the ice. It also shows the captain mingling with mainly the first class. He doesn't really visit with the second and third. I'm not really sure how that. I don't know if that's really important at this time. I don't know. I don't know how people really take that. I don't know if that was a normal thing back then. But that's just what they really show him doing, is hanging out with the wealthy people. So I think he just wants to make a headline. So he's still going. So he still has the ship going 22 knots, even with the ice warnings, which is 25 miles per hour. So it does show how it does hit the iceberg. And an interesting fact here, if they hit it head on, it would have only filled up the first 4 compartments. So they would have still stayed afloat if they hit it head on and not tried to steer away from it. So that was kind of a cool fact that I just found out. I mean, when the ship rolled into New York City, the front of the boat would have looked like Eleanor Roosevelt's face. It would have looked ugly, but they would have shown up on time, and it would have gotten there. It would have gotten everybody there safely. Nobody would have died. Because, I mean, because even the impact of the iceberg, people really didn't feel it. They didn't actually know that they were in real danger until they saw the ship leaning. So they had to handle all this chaos, and that's sort of what this movie shows. Everybody's calm at first, but then as it gets deeper in, and the third class are trying to get through the gate, and yeah, they were sort of, yeah, they were gated up until the very end. That really did happen, and that's something James Cameron did do well. Okay. And again, so what this movie's doing is, I believe, from my understanding, is they don't really have you get too attached to any of the characters. Maybe the ship designer, Mr. Andrews, but spoiler alert, he does not make it. You probably know this from the 1997 film. You pretty much know that the ship designer went down with as the captain did. So, again, because it's a tragic story, I don't think they want you to get attached to anybody in this because chances are they're not going to make it. It's just the way it is.
You wouldn't make it either.
No, I would not.
Me neither. Skipper can. No, he doesn't like water. Rascal would. He knows how to swim.
Yes, but it's very cold water.
He'll be okay. He'll just bite somebody and lay on them.
And that's actually something I did like in the 97 film compared to this one. I'm going to show clips of, obviously, which I do in most of the videos. Hopefully I don't get a copyright. I don't think I will. I think actually, if anything, the British might, the people of England might like the fact that I'm doing a review on this because they think their movie is so much better. And it could be. I'm not going to say it is or it isn't yet. But the one thing is, this movie, it had a $600,000 budget, which today is $15.8 million. So you're probably thinking that's a lot of money. This movie probably did really well at the box office, and it probably won a few awards. Well, did it win as many? Did it get anything? And you would think it would, wouldn't it? It would become close. Not even close. It didn't even win a Little Caesars coupon.
And how many did Titanic win?
It won 11. It got 14 nominations.
So which one's better?
I don't go by that. I don't go by that. This movie came out in 1958. The acting's different. The special effects are different. And the
awards are different.
Yeah, the awards are different. I mean, you get awards for every stupid thing now. And yeah, I even looked at some of the awards that the 97 Titanic got, and some of it was best editing, best makeup, best costume. Nothing for best actor or actress for that matter. And I think the acting in this is not bad. I was actually very impressed with it, but I really am in most older movies. I prefer the older acting better anyways. There is no overacting in this. And I'm going to show the first clip of the ship leaving Southampton, which is in England.
Going to
New York City.
Or supposed to be.
Supposed to be New York City. We all know it doesn't end up there.
That's a very ugly cruise ship, by the way.
Well, they're doing the best they can. And if you are wondering after watching the first clip, no, that is not real footage of the Titanic. Now, on the other hand, an interesting fact here is William McQuitty, who was one of the producers of this, was actually at the launch of the actual Titanic. So he got to see the massive ship pull away.
The ugly, massive ship.
At the time, it was not ugly. Well, probably not. I'll go with probably.
No, it's still ugly.
Now it's getting eaten away by bacteria in the ocean. But that's besides the point here. So, the next clip I'm going to show is the captain eating with, I believe, is Mr. Andrews and a woman wearing a very goofy hat. And this is kind of what I am actually going to show that party, too, that Jack was at in the 1997 version, because that party did actually happen in real life. That's something James Cameron actually did well. So I will show you the goofy hat lady and the captain and I believe Mr. Andrews in just a second. So I just want to show the captain here. As you can see, he's mingling with the... It's okay if I call them the boring first class, right? That would be appropriate. Not appropriate. Well, okay. Well, I'm just going to say it. A little bit boring. You can see the fine dining, the real dressy clothes. People aren't really... They're laughing, but... I mean, they're kind of a little snooty. It just doesn't look like it's really much fun. So, my point with this was this was not exactly an all-inclusive. You could not wander the boat if you were third class. So they had the boring people up here, then they had the semi-boring people here, and then the people that like to have fun were all the way down here.
And that will be why I would never go on it.
Yes.
I will throw up a lot.
So the next clip I'm going to show is the Californian, which was the ship that gave a few warnings, will be nice, about icebergs to the Titanic, letting them know, hey, there's ice, you might want to slow down, it's coming up, you might want to go around it. We all know what happened, I don't got to tell you. So this is the Californian, and you can clearly see here they're talking about ice warnings, and the message does go to the captain, and it looks like he just kind of brushes it off a little bit. I believe that is Mr. Andrews stuffing the thing in his pocket, so now he's aware of it as well. So, and we are about to get another ice warning coming up in just a second. But yes, he still continues to travel at 22 knots, which is 25 miles an hour, which doesn't sound fast. But if you're hitting an iceberg, it's you know the story. Gash, gash, crunch, crunch, sink, sink. So the next clip of another warning. Skip, get the lights.
Titanic on an 8-point, waiting Cape Race. How far away is it? I can tell. Signal strength's pretty good. About 50 miles back, I think. Get us off the warships, will you? Promise, at Californian. Ice reports.
So as you can see, this is more warnings and probably more ignorance. So now I'm going to show the party that James Cameron got from the '97 film. This really did happen. This was a real party that the third class people really did have, and we will show you how much fun they are having. Okay, so this is the third class party here. It looks like they're having a good time. And then we get upstairs, and you just want to fall asleep. There's probably a lady talking about gold miners. Now that's okay. Now I guarantee the person next to her is probably talking about getting their taxes done. Probably talking about the stock exchange or something boring. Their shoe polisher quit on them. So I will get to the next clip of guess what? More warnings.
What more?
So they're obviously they are getting the warnings in. So they are sending out another one, I do believe. So we will see if the captain decides to slow down, or who knows, he might even want to speed it up a notch. But we will find out.
Freezing point, sir. Still dropping. In an hour or so, we'll be in the Labrador Current. Well, the weather looks clear enough so far. There's the slightest bit of haze, which will have to slow down. That's not much to go down. Aye, aye, sir. Alex Moody? Call up the lookout and tell them to keep their eyes skinned for small ice and growlers. There might be some of that about. Make sure.
Alright, so it looks like he's still going to continue to ignore the warnings or say, wait, if there's any haze, then slow down. I would have just slowed down. So now we're going to get to the Californian, I do believe. I wish that it would kind of tell you what ship was which, because I think they're showing a few of them here. But I do think that this is the Californian because it does show them. I believe it. They do say that they're stopping because of ice. So I will show you that in just a second.
I can find my way around that sort of daylight. Shall we report it? Yes. Work out on it. Aye, aye. Hold on the ship's all in now. Over the Titanic. We'll have to call on to him and stop on account of ice. Mr. Groves will give you all position. Okay. Order from the bridge. Special watch for small ice and growlers. Got out.
So this is the Californian saying that they are stopping because of the severe ice. It would be nice if the Titanic did the same, but then we wouldn't have several movies about it. So
I'd rather it just not happen at all. How about that?
okay. So now, something this movie did have, I don't know if I got into it, was the detail that the survivors of the Titanic helped actually make this movie. So even though it is in black and white, I am going to show the boiler room because the details in it, apparently from what I read, they are spot on. So I'm going to show that clip in just a second. So it shows here, it shows the boiler room, and then it also goes to the pastry room after that. And apparently the details in this movie really were terrific. So this is worth checking out for sure. I understand it's in black and white, and some people might have a problem with it. But, as we know, it hits an iceberg. So we are going to show you that clip in just a second. I just got to turn the lights off again.
What did you see? Iceberg, get ahead, sir. Iceberg, get ahead, sir. On the starboard, sir. On the same boat. Whatever. Close watertight doors. Close watertight doors, sir. On the starboard it is, sir.
Every time I see this, I really wanted to miss the iceberg. but it never happens. They hit it, and like I said, if they hit it head on, they would have been fine. But it gashed up the side, and what also happened is the compartments don't seal all the way up, so the water gets in through the top and then floods the other ones, and it just happened too quick. So the one thing I do want to show before we get into all the chaos and other stuff is the people playing with the ice chips. I guess this really did happen too, and I do want to show that because it shows that people really aren't taking this seriously yet. They don't realize how much danger they're actually in. That's good. Okay, so as you can see, they're having a good time playing with the ice that just fell off the iceberg. So, yeah, they have no idea what's going on. So now the next clip I'm going to show is the captain and Mr. Andrews pretty much discussing the damage of the ship. So I will get to that in just a second.
Numbers 1 and 2 hold, the mail room, and boiler room 6 and 5. That means a gash 300 foot long from there to there, below the waterline. You agree? Yes. Well? The pumps are keeping the water down in this boiler room, but the first 5 compartments are flooding. Well, what's the answer? It's going to sink then.
Alright, so this part here, Mr. Andrews is explaining to the captain that, yes, the ship is going to sink, and the captain is in denial. He doesn't believe it. He pretty much says it's unsinkable. So then he explains it again, how it's going to sink. And I think they did, from what I remember, a better job explaining it in this movie than they did in the 97 film. But I will do a review on the 97 film, and let's find out. So now I'm going to take you to the part where they're actually trying to get people on these wonderful lifeboats, and let's see how full they actually make them.
Number 4, please, madam. I'll pass the children across. I'm sorry, women and children first. Yes, my dear, I'll teach you better.
But it's not like that. I can't go without my husband. That lady's right. It's absolutely ridiculous. Kindly help me out here,
It
please.
can't be helped if she won't go. Now, madam, please. Oh, you'll be good enough to step into the boat, please, ma'am.
That's my death of cold. Certainly not.
So this is the first of them loading people onto the boat, and just look how calmly they are. The next clip I'm going to show is a little bit more chaotic than that. This is deeper into the lowering of the lifeboats, and by the way, they're not loading them up full enough. So I will get to the next clip of the chaos in just a second. So this is a bit more chaotic. They are obviously in panic mode and survival mode. Now it is every man for himself. There are no more boats, so now the ship is tilting. So the next scene, it will be the ship actually sinking. I guess I'm showing the end of the movie in this. Well, that's fine. We know how it ends.
Oh, that ain't good. I guess I didn't think about that part, huh? The old man's on the boat with the kids still? That's on one of the lifeboats.
I thought it was one of the lifeboats.
Oh, look at the wave. Look at the smoke.
So this is the final clip. It does go down, and as you can see in this movie, it's in one piece. Obviously, we know now that that did not happen. So overall, this movie was not bad. A couple things that I did not like was I wish they would have maybe done a better job at explaining who the characters were. That's my one gripe. And my second gripe is the fact when people were going in the water, they didn't really look uncomfortable. They looked like they were just going into an 85-degree swimming pool. They didn't look like they were really cold. And that's my other problem with it. Other than that, this movie really was well made. The boat didn't look bad. The boat's black and white anyways. So
It's ugly.
It's at the time it looked good.
No,
So-
it's ugly.
So honestly, if I had to give this movie a grade, it would probably be in the A- range. The acting was very good. It was a good. It was
I
a
didn't
very
say
good-
nothing. I yawned. I want to go to bed. Let's go.
It was a very, very good movie. I do recommend. I don't know where you're gonna find it. You're gonna have to pay up for it to get it. It's about $12 to $13, and good luck finding it at a flea market. You're not gonna find it. I doubt it's on streaming services. You might be able to find it, but it's definitely worth the purchase though. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Get rid of the black and white thing, and just because it's in 1958 it doesn't mean it's bad. This
Yes,
was
it does.
very well. No, it doesn't. It was very.
They're
well
stupid
made.
and hit an iceberg when they shouldn't have.
That happened in real life in 19.
Yes, and the
No.
captain's a moron.
That's not the movie's fault. Well, they did a very good job making this. So yes, it is definitely worth a look. And yes, there's no cheesy love story. So check it out just for that. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want, and comment below. Thanks for watching.